Welcome to another episode of Financial Insights in Minutes, the most critical cryptocurrency news summarized for your busy day. Today, we have an intriguing lineup focused on the future of Bitcoin. From government acquisitions to market fears and bullish predictions, what's really happening?
Exactly. Get ready to learn how these trends and insights impact your crypto journey.
And stay tuned until the end for a summary of key agreements and disagreements among experts. Let's jump into today's summaries, starting with Altcoin Daily. First, Altcoin Daily reveals which nations are secretly acquiring Bitcoin. Next, CryptosRUs discusses fear-driven market sentiments surrounding Bitcoin. Coin Bureau dives into Russia's shift to legalize Bitcoin mining amidst sanctions. Benjamin Cowan analyzes Bitcoin's monthly returns and historical performance. Crypto Banter urges viewers to keep engaged with the crypto market to avoid losses. Lark Davis provides critical perspectives on Bitcoin's role during an economic downturn. Crypto Casey discusses whether Bitcoin can thrive amidst economic uncertainty. Lastly, Ivan on Tech predicts teenage Bitcoin price movements in light of new market threats. Welcome to Altcoin Daily. Today we're diving into the intriguing world of nation-states and their secretive purchasing of Bitcoin. It's the geopolitical game you didn't know was happening.
Absolutely. The financial digital asset war is heating up, and if you're not paying attention, you might miss out on critical insights that could change your life through cryptocurrency.
So what's the core thesis here? Why are governments so keen on Bitcoin?
The thesis reveals that countries are now engaged in a silent race to accumulate Bitcoin and bolster their digital asset strategies, while the public remains largely unaware.
Let's break down those key points. What's the deal with the U.S. government's Bitcoin?
The U.S. government holds more than 200,000 Bitcoins, valued at roughly $12 billion, making it the largest geopolitical Bitcoin holder.
Now, what's Norway up to in this digital asset race?
Norway's central bank has expanded its holdings to 446 Bitcoins by investing in Bitcoin companies, showing a strategic move towards crypto assets in investment portfolios.
And what about Russia? They're making headlines too.
Yes, Putin has just signed a new law regulating crypto mining, paving the way for Russia to potentially seize control of the digital asset economy.
What's the scoop on El Salvador?
El Salvador continues to double down on Bitcoin with a massive $1.6 billion investment to develop its visionary Bitcoin city. They're all in!
What predictions can we draw from this?
There will likely be more announcements from wealthy Middle Eastern nations regarding their Bitcoin investments, highlighting Bitcoin's growing role in global finance.
And what about the U.S.? Any predictions on policy shifts?
Expect to see Kamala Harris potentially becoming more pro-crypto as she positions herself competitively in the political landscape, which could influence future regulations.
To wrap things up, what should viewers take away from all of this?
The key takeaway is that governments are taking significant steps in the Bitcoin space, and understanding these moves is crucial for anyone wanting to navigate the future of finance. What do you think will happen next? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
And what's next on the global stage?
More countries will reveal their Bitcoin strategies, so stay tuned and keep an eye on the developments. What country's move are you most curious about?
Welcome to CryptosRUs, folks. Buckle up as we explore today's hot topic, the fear and strategies swirling around Bitcoin.
Absolutely. George dives into the crypto waters, analyzing the fear index and what it really reflects about market sentiments.
So what's the crux of today's talk? What's the sentiment around Bitcoin right now?
The core thesis is that the fear index is at levels similar to past lows, yet Bitcoin's price is much higher now. It raises questions about market perception.
First up, let's unpack the current fear levels. What's the buzz?
The fear index is down to 25, which is equivalent to when Bitcoin was around $20,000, a puzzling contradiction.
Next, let's talk about MicroStrategy. Why are they such a hot topic?
Their stock is becoming a darling on Wall Street, largely due to CEO Michael Saylor's unwavering commitment to Bitcoin. It's turning heads.
And what's this news about central banks?
Central banks, like those in Switzerland and Norway, are now holding MicroStrategy stock. It's as if they're endorsing the Bitcoin strategy.
What about the overarching sentiment in the market?
Even with the current fear, Bitcoin's fundamentals remain strong. Historically, these cycles have always led to gradual growth.
Let's look ahead. What do you see happening in terms of institutional interest?
Expect an uptick in institutional investments in Bitcoin as MicroStrategy's approach becomes a popular model for others.
And what about the Bitcoin price recovery?
As the market perception shifts and new retail investors enter, we could see a rebound in Bitcoin's price.
So, what are the takeaways from today's discussion?
Despite misinformation and a fearful market, Bitcoin continues to garner institutional support. It's a sign of solid growth ahead.
Any final thoughts for our viewers?
Keep your eyes peeled for more developments. What do you think the future holds for Bitcoin? Drop your thoughts in the comments.
Welcome to Coin Bureau. In today's deep dive, we're exploring a groundbreaking shift in Russia's approach to cryptocurrency. Could Bitcoin be the answer to sanctions?
Indeed, Russia's long and twisting journey with crypto is finally taking an interesting turn. Buckle up as we untangle this narrative.
What's the core thesis here? What does this shift really mean?
The main takeaway is that due to severe sanctions, Russia is attempting to legalize Bitcoin mining and engage in international trade using crypto. This strategic pivot highlights Russia's tangled past with digital currency.
First up, let's discuss the impact of sanctions.
Yes, Russia is facing intensified sanctions, pushing them to find alternative payment channels, including crypto.
What about the historical context?
Russia's crypto policies have bounced around since 2014, with authorities alternately banning and recognizing digital currency.
And now, mining has been legalized.
Correct. This new regime will regulate mining operations, requiring miners to register and report, marking a significant milestone.
What's this experimental legal regime for crypto?
This allows the central bank to approve selected firms for conducting international crypto trade, with transactions starting by year's end.
And what's the deal with the digital ruble?
The central bank wants to establish a digital ruble, complicating the situation regarding crypto acceptance.
What does this mean for the future of crypto in Russia?
Well, we could see increased crypto adoption, especially if it proves effective for trade.
Any predictions on regulatory challenges?
Absolutely. The tug-of-war between the central bank and finance ministry is likely to continue, complicating the crypto landscape.
To sum up, what's the key takeaway from all this?
Russia's legalization of Bitcoin mining is a major pivot driven by the need to adapt to sanctions, showing just how nuanced their relationship with crypto is.
So what's next for crypto in Russia?
Great question. The ongoing regulatory tug-of-war will shape how effectively they navigate this new crypto landscape. What do you all think?
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into Bitcoin's monthly returns. It's time to navigate through these waters and uncover the trends.
Absolutely. Bitcoin's monthly performance can be quite revealing. With our expert Benjamin Cowan at the helm, expect some insightful analysis on those trends.
So what's the core takeaway from this analysis?
The central thesis revolves around understanding Bitcoin's seasonal performance, specifically that historically, August and September show disappointing returns compared to other months.
Let's decode those key points. What stands out?
Historically, Bitcoin shows a general upward trend. However, August averages a mere 1.8%, and September is notably down 6.2%.
Interesting. What about seasonality?
Exactly. Most months experience gains, yet only August and September fall short. Interestingly, when September is green, it's often after a rough August.
What about comparisons to past years?
In 2023, Bitcoin fell 8% in August, just like back in 2022. The similarities with 2019, amid Fed rate cuts, are striking.
And predictions for the upcoming months?
The forecast? Continuing volatility with lower highs and lower lows, especially around Fed decisions.
Now on to predictions. What can we expect for September?
Expect a possibility of a green September, but don't get your hopes too high. It's likely to be modest.
What about October?
October might bring some significant movement, possibly replicating the trend patterns we saw in 2019.
So what are the big takeaways?
Bottom line, August and September are historically challenging months for Bitcoin, but eyes should be set on October for potential recovery.
How do you think Bitcoin will perform in the upcoming months? Will October break the trend?
Drop your predictions in the comments below. We want to hear your thoughts.
Welcome to Crypto Banter. Today's urgent topic, why you should stay focused on the crypto market. You might lose everything if you don't. Joining us is the ever-knowledgeable Ran Neuner, our go-to expert on crypto trends.
Exactly. With only 48 hours left for potential shifts in the market, staying in the know is crucial. Time to navigate the chaos and come out on top.
So what's the main thesis in today's show?
The core message is clear. This is not the time to exit the market. Currently, we are witnessing a lengthy consolidation phase, but historical data suggests that engagement now can prove vital for future profits.
Let's break down the key points covered. First up, what's happening with market dynamics?
The Fear and Greed Index now sits at 25, indicating high fear among investors. Plus, we are 156 days into this current consolidation, which is longer than average.
And what about cyclical trends?
Bitcoin is approaching the crucial 680 to 700 days mark in its cycle. Historically a launchpad for bullish behavior, late September is when things could start to change.
Security is always a big deal. What did our expert have to say?
There's a new malware known as Banshee Stealer targeting cryptocurrency wallets. The recommendation? Use a VPN and a password manager to secure your investments.
No crystal ball, but what about those lunar events?
The next bull moon is set for 15th September, and it historically predicts an 80% uptrend. Definitely something to watch.
Any predictions for what's next?
We could be on the brink of a significant market reversal. Following this consolidation, expect a price surge as early as September.
What does this mean for altcoins?
Well, alt season could be on the horizon. If history is any guide, we might see a climax by December, so investors should consider accumulating positions now.
Wrap it all up for us. What's the bottom line?
In short, keep your eyes on the crypto market. The period ahead looks critical, and being focused could result in major gains.
And what if someone wants to dive deeper?
Join platforms like WH School for insights into market trends and strategic positioning. Live sessions can make a big difference.
All right, viewers, over to you. What are your predictions for the market? We want to hear from you.
Leave your thoughts in the comments. Let's get a discussion going.
Welcome to the latest segment on cryptocurrency insights. Today, we're diving deep into critical perspectives on Bitcoin and what's really happening in the markets.
That's right, with rising fears linked to global events, it's essential to get a clear picture of Bitcoin's standing and future. Let's break it down.
So, what's the core message regarding Bitcoin?
The key takeaway is that despite looming recessions and market fears, Bitcoin is proving to be a crucial financial asset that offers long-term value and resilience.
Let's discuss market resilience. What did Lark emphasize here?
Lark highlights how Bitcoin's value fluctuates with business cycles, yet it continues to exceed past highs, showcasing its long-term strength.
What's the scoop on the booming ETF market?
Since the advent of ETFs, over $17 billion have flowed into them, fostering global adoption and making Bitcoin accessible to everyday investors.
And institutional moves. What's up with that?
The game is changing. Major banks, including Morgan Stanley, are mobilizing thousands of salespeople to introduce Bitcoin to their investors.
Interesting developments with sovereign wealth funds.
Absolutely. Countries like El Salvador are buying Bitcoin daily, and rumors suggest various sovereign funds are also gearing up for significant investments.
And how about those billionaires?
Many are now recognizing Bitcoin's potential, with figures like Michael Dell reportedly considering a hefty investment into Bitcoin.
What future trends should we look out for?
Expect massive inflows from institutions and sovereign wealth funds as they recognize the long-term promise of Bitcoin.
What about market behavior moving forward?
While volatility is a given, especially with global tensions, the long-term outlook for Bitcoin remains very positive.
Wrapping it up, what are our final thoughts on Bitcoin?
In summary, Bitcoin is securing its place as a major asset class, evidenced by growing institutional support. What do you think the future holds? Drop your thoughts in the comments below.
And for those looking to invest, any last advice?
The time to engage in Bitcoin markets is now. Are you ready to hop on board?
Welcome to Crypto Casey. Today we're diving deep into some turbulent waters in the crypto market and how Bitcoin is holding steady amid economic uncertainty.
Sounds like a storm's brewing. With Bitcoin's recent sideways trend, today we'll uncover if this is just the calm before the storm or if there's more brewing beneath the surface.
So what's the main thesis of today's discussion?
The core idea is that Bitcoin is currently in a sideways bearish trend. It won't flip bullish until it closes $70,500, but there are key indicators suggesting we might still be in an overarching bull cycle.
What's the latest on Bitcoin's price action?
Bitcoin's still seeing a bearish trend on the weekly charts. A solid closing over 70,500 is crucial for any hopes of a bullish rebound.
What about stablecoins? Are they showing any strength?
Absolutely. The combined supply of Tether and USDC has jumped by $3 billion, signaling health in the broader crypto market.
Let's get straight to the facts about inflation.
The CPI report slowed to 2.9%, which sounds promising, but it's calculated based on a basket of goods that doesn't even reflect true costs for many consumers.
What's the scoop on national debt?
The U.S. national debt is a staggering $35 trillion, raising red flags for not just the U.S., but the entire global economy.
Lastly, what's the connection between U.S. elections and crypto?
With the Federal Reserve tightening control, there's uncertainty surrounding Kamala Harris's stance on crypto, which could profoundly impact the industry.
Let's talk predictions. What should we be keeping an eye on?
If Bitcoin manages to breach that key $70,500 level, we may see a bullish flip. But market dynamics are largely dictated by federal moves.
What about economic policies after the elections?
It's crucial. Depending on election outcomes, we could see shifts in crypto regulation that can drastically affect how the market operates.
So what are the key takeaways?
The crypto landscape is precarious. Bitcoin's future will largely depend on its ability to break above 70,500, while the national debt and upcoming elections could shape the market significantly.
And what about Kamala Harris's actions regarding crypto? Any opinions?
Absolutely. Viewers, drop your thoughts in the comments about her stance and what it might mean for the crypto community.
Welcome to another episode on Ivan on Tech. Today, we're diving deep into the mesmerizing world of Bitcoin, which is currently hovering just below $60,000.
Absolutely. The market is quite the spectacle right now, with Ivan providing some striking insights about market conditions and lurking threats.
So what's the central thesis we'll explore today?
The crux of the discussion is that the current Bitcoin price movements parallel previous cycles closely, potentially signaling another bull run. Ivan notes the effects of fresh pandemic concerns as a catalyst for market shifts.
Let's get straight to those key points about historical price patterns.
Yes, Ivan points out that Bitcoin is echoing its past behavior, like déjà vu, showing similar sideways consolidations before explosive breaks.
What's the scoop on the impact of global health crises?
The emergence of the monkeypox virus has raised alarms, likely leading to further economic interventions that could affect Bitcoin and crypto markets.
Now let's touch on government responses to these crises.
Ivan emphasizes that historical trends suggest we can expect more aggressive monetary policies, which might fuel Bitcoin's rise.
What's the interaction between consumer demand and government policies?
Exactly. Ivan critiques proposed price controls, arguing they might lead to shortages rather than solve problems, highlighting fundamental economic principles.
Now let's talk predictions. What's Ivan forecasting?
He suggests that if the past is any indication, Bitcoin could soar past $100,000, with trading volumes likely to surge as speculation heats up.
What changes are anticipated in response to these events?
Ivan believes aggressive government policies will amplify Bitcoin's appeal as a hedge against inflation and economic instability.
As we wrap it up, what are the essential takeaways?
Bitcoin represents a unique safety vessel amidst looming economic uncertainties, and historical patterns suggest the potential for a significant price surge ahead.
Will we see Bitcoin break above 60,000 soon?
That's the million-dollar question. Share your thoughts and predictions in the comments below.
Today's discussions reveal how crucial it is to analyze ongoing governmental strategies influencing Bitcoin accumulation.
The insights garnered today outline a pivotal point where fear in the market might serve as a buying opportunity.
As we wrap up, it's clear that while Bitcoin continues to attract attention, scrutiny around market volatility remains critical. Thanks for watching Financial Insights in Minutes for August 18th, 2024. If you'd like more time-saving content, please remember to like and subscribe. If you have ideas for more channels you'd like to see summarized, drop a comment below. See you next time.